443.3 billion hashtag overall views. That's right. TikTok has that many views in the entertainment category alone. Furthermore, TikTok has over a billion monthly active users worldwide. 56.1% of TikTok users are female and 43.9% are male. 90% of all TikTok users access the app on a daily basis. My name's Craig Metrowich. In this short show reel, I want to talk about the other side of what we all need to know about social media, online, and digital. We're going to talk about a subject that's not spoken of often because I want to expose the truth in a positive way so that you and your loved ones can take some proactive action. What are we talking about? Digital addiction. That's right. In the show reel, we're going to talk about digital addiction and I want to highlight what that is. So, starting with, let's talk about what is the definition around it. And I'm going to talk about digital addiction and the brain science, which is when something pleasant happens to us, our brains release neurotransmitter chemicals that make us feel good. Once these chemicals, called dopamine, are released, this process, which is a biological process, creates a point in which it associates this positive event with a pleasant feeling, a good feeling, thereby motivating us to seek out that event in the future. This pleasure reward reaction can be triggered by a positive physical experience such as eating, exercise, or having sex. It can also be triggered by more complex psychological events such as a positive social interaction or positive interaction with digital media. Over time, the brain builds connections that reinforce the association between a stimulus and its pleasurable effects. In the case of addiction, these connections become dysfunctional. The brain needs more and more of this stimulus. A drug, social media, or interaction, it just needs more and more of it. To trigger what? To trigger the dopamine release. And when the stimulus is missing, I'll repeat, and when the stimulus is missing, the addict experiences symptoms of withdrawal. So, what is digital addiction? And I've done some research, and just to give it a clear definition, digital addiction refers to an impulsive control disorder that involves the obsessive use of digital devices, digital technologies, and digital platforms. In other words, internet, video game, online platforms, mobile devices, digital gadgets, and social network platforms, and any other online type of platform. That would all be referred within digital addiction. What's fascinating about my research is that the ideal way to keep us engaged indefinitely is to give us many rewards frequently, but at unpredictable intervals. The designers of internet games and social media platforms intentionally build their software to take advantage of this phenomenon. The result is digital media manipulates the brain's pleasure reward reactions and potentially reinforces abusive behavior. We need to all know this. We need to share this content. It's so important. Did you know 64% of people now spend up to 4 hours daily of leisure time in front of a screen? This extra sedentary time is bad for our health. So, how does digital addiction progress? These are the type of things we should all be looking for. If you're a parent, this is certainly what you should be looking for. For example, in severe cases that go unaddressed, internet addiction or digital addiction can lead to a range of social and physical consequences, including difficulties at school, loss of a job, disruption of relationships, sleep disruptions, pure cardiovascular health from lack of exercise, weakened immune system, nutritional deficiencies, weight gain or loss, eye strain, which is to me pretty obvious, or vision difficulties, repetitive stress injuries such as carpal tunnel syndrome, you can Google that, muscle strains or injuries. And the source of that information is United Brain Association. So, what can we do? Let's wrap up on a real positive. What can we do? What are some of the tips that we can do? So, first off, if you're a parent and if your child is spending far too much time on these digital devices, then these are some of the things you should take into account. Number one, react reasonably. In other words, don't remove the device completely. Removing all access to digital media or taking away devices as punishment rarely has a positive outcome. Rather, acknowledge that your child or loved one's technology use may be necessary and may even have some positive effects. Therefore, set limits within reason and don't overreact. Learn more about technology. That's point two. If you know more about digital media yourself, you'll be better to understand when your loved one's digital behavior is inappropriate or harmful and when it isn't. Point three, be supportive. Ensure your loved one knows that you're acting out of love and not out of frustration or anger. Make it clear that your only goal is to be sure that they are happy and, most importantly, that they are healthy. Would like to give acknowledgement again to some of the research that I've done, and I utilize resources, namely. My name's Craig Metrowich. Thank you for watching this short showreel featuring the do's and don'ts of digital addiction. A quick précis. Share this content. We all need to know about digital addiction.